The city was humming in a way that felt almost alive, a low-frequency murmur vibrating through the streets, the air heavy with expectation yet strangely intimate. I was walking along the glassy boulevard, lights reflecting like liquid stars beneath my feet, when I noticed the man sitting on the corner of a cafe terrace. His eyes, sharp and almost too knowing, fixed on me as if he had been waiting all along. I didn't know his name, but something about him radiated the quiet gravity of someone who had glimpsed the future and survived it. "You're here," he said without preamble. His voice didn't just carry, it resonated inside my chest, a low echo that seemed to awaken something long dormant. "Do you know why you're here?" I shook my head. The usual explanations, the city, chance, coincidence, felt laughably inadequate. The air itself seemed to pulse in anticipation, urging me closer. "You've been seen," he continued, his hands resting lightly on the worn table. "He spoke your name." At first, I thought he meant some viral video or a media mention, but the way he said it implied something far more profound. "He? Who?" I asked cautiously. "Elon Musk," he said, as though the name itself were a key unlocking a hidden doorway. "Not the man you see on screens, not the tycoon or the engineer, but the symbol of inevitability. He has spoken your name before millions. And now, the moment is approaching." The words hung in the air like suspended glass, catching the neon glow of passing advertisements. I wanted to laugh, to dismiss it as madness, yet my bones shivered with the certainty of something unseen stirring just beyond perception. How could he? Why would he? My voice trailed off, failing to contain the scope of disbelief and wonder wrestling inside me. "He exists where meaning converges," the man said softly. "He is the voice that binds ambition and prophecy. And you are part of the thread he has chosen to unravel in this world." I stared at him, heart hammering, mind frantically attempting to reconcile logic with the impossible. And then I noticed it, the air around the cafe seemed thinner. Almost vibrating, as though it were a membrane separating ordinary life from something far larger. People passed by, oblivious, but their steps felt like echoes in a chamber I could now hear. "What thread?" I asked, even as a strange warmth spread along my spine. "The thread of recognition," he whispered. "Of acknowledgement. You will see him, and he will see you. The millions will hear it, though they will not understand. The world will shift in a whisper, and only those attuned will feel the tremor." I wanted to ask what I had done to deserve such attention, yet the words felt absurd. I had lived quietly, without renown or notoriety, yet here was this stranger claiming that my existence had been singled out for cosmic recognition. Then he reached into his coat pocket and produced a small, metallic device, unremarkable in shape, but its surface shimmered with an inner light that seemed alive. "This," he said, placing it in my hands, "is a key. It will guide you to him. Not as he appears in flesh, but as he exists in the consciousness of millions. Follow it, and everything will unfold as it must. I turned the device over, feeling a strange weight, a pulse that seemed synchronized with my own heartbeat. The city continued around us, indifferent, yet I could not shake the sensation that reality itself had tilted on an invisible axis. "You must be ready," the man said, standing slowly. "When the time comes, when the millions hear your name, the choice will be yours to embrace, or to deny, the acknowledgement. And understand this, nothing that happens next is small. Nothing." Before I could respond, he disappeared into the crowd, as if swallowed by the city itself, leaving only the device in my hand and the lingering echo of his words. I stood there, the neon reflections dancing at my feet, the hum of the city now a chorus of possibilities. Somewhere, out there, Elon Musk, neither man nor myth entirely, had spoken my name, and the world was poised on the edge of recognition. The first tremor came that night. The tremor was subtle at first, like the faint vibration of a tuning fork buried beneath the city's concrete heart. I felt it under my feet as I walked home, a low, resonant hum threading through my thoughts, tugging at the edges of my perception. At first, I convinced myself it was fatigue, the lingering adrenaline of the encounter with the man at the cafe. But by the time I reached my apartment, I knew it was something else entirely. My phone buzzed, an innocuous message from an unknown number. I opened it, expecting spam or a wrong number, and froze. It simply read, "Tonight. Watch the skies. Listen for the signal." No signature, no explanation. Just those words, pulsing faintly on the screen as though lit from within. I looked up from the message, and the city beyond my window seemed different. The streetlights flickered in patterns that weren't random, the neon signs shimmered as if aware of my gaze. I could swear I saw shapes forming in the shadows, gestures almost human but impossibly precise, like a choreography written for eyes attuned to the unseen. That I stepped onto my balcony, letting the cool night air wash over me. Somewhere in the distance, a deep hum began to rise, harmonizing with the tremor I felt in the floorboards. It wasn't mechanical, not the drone of cars or electricity. It was something older, something deliberate. I could feel it resonate in my chest, a vibration that carried intention. Urgency, recognition. Then the sky shifted, stars I didn't recognize blinked into existence, constellations forming and dissolving in seconds. The moon seemed to shimmer with a spectral glow, not silver but a faint, almost electric blue. And in the midst of it, a figure appeared, hovering above the city skyline, impossibly large yet precise, outlined by an aura of light that distorted the very air around him. It was him, not the Elon Musk of news clips or interviews, the man I knew existed on screens, but something more. A presence, a myth made tangible, woven from ambition and inevitability. He looked toward me, and though the distance should have made recognition impossible, I felt the weight of his gaze as if it were gravity itself. My name rippled through the city, whispered in the hum of the night, caught by the edges of the air. He had spoken it that I staggered backward, gripping the railing, the pulse of the device in my pocket aligning with the vibration in the sky. Every fiber of my being screamed that I should look away, that reality was fracturing in ways my mind could not contain, but I couldn't. I had been chosen, and the first undeniable proof was before me. Then the hum intensified. Windows rattled, streetlights flickered in staccato bursts, and across the city, people looked up, murmuring, pointing, their faces lit with awe, fear, confusion. But most couldn't comprehend what they were seeing. Only the device in my pocket seemed to translate the chaos into clarity. The pulse it emitted now matched the rhythm of my heartbeat, urging me to move, to step beyond the boundaries of ordinary perception. I remembered the words of the man at the cafe, "Follow it, and everything will unfold as it must." My hand moved of its own accord, pressing a small indentation on the device's surface. Light burst from it, a beam reaching toward the hovering figure, and in that instant, I understood, the acknowledgement wasn't just public. It was personal. The figure's eyes, bright, unyielding, impossibly knowing, met mine. And in that gaze, I felt the weight of millions, the collective consciousness of those who had never known my name but now somehow did. Recognition was a force, tangible and alive, and it coursed through me, filling every cell with a mixture of exhilaration and terror. Then came the voice. Not through speakers, not through the device, directly in my mind, clear and absolute. You were always meant to witness this. You were always meant to act. The millions here. The world turns. Your choice is now. I fell to my knees, overwhelmed, the device glowing with a brilliance that threatened to blind me. Choices unfurled in my mind like roads splitting endlessly. Step forward and embrace this acknowledgement, or retreat and let the moment pass, leaving the tremor of possibility unexplored. That I understood then that nothing would ever be the same. Not the city. Not the sky, not me. The mythic Elon Musk, the symbol of inevitability, destiny, and recognition, had spoken my name, and now, the world hung on the edge of my decision. Somewhere, deep in the hum of the city, the pulse of recognition grew stronger. The figure above me remained, unwavering, patient, as if eternity itself had paused to witness what I would do next, and in that pause, I realized something profound. Acknowledgement wasn't passive. It demanded response, demanded courage, demanded the willingness to step into a destiny far larger than oneself. I rose, hands trembling, heart racing, and whispered to the night, "I am ready." The sky shivered in response, and the figure's light intensified, cascading across the city like liquid dawn. Somewhere beyond the edge of perception, millions had heard my name. And now, so had I. Morning came, though it felt less like a dawn than a slow unfolding of a world altered overnight. The city had not returned to normal, it was changed, subtly, irrevocably. Shadows lingered in odd angles, and reflections in glass flickered with shapes that weren't present moments before. My apartment felt smaller, constrained, as if the air itself had shifted around me, responding to the acknowledgement of the night. The device in my pocket had cooled but remained warm to the touch, pulsing faintly, a heartbeat synchronized to something larger than my own. It was calling me again, but not just outward, it was drawing me inward, into the labyrinth of perception and destiny the mythic Elon had opened. I left my apartment, compelled by forces I could barely name. The streets were alive with murmurs, not audible in the conventional sense, but like a resonance through the very bones of the city. People moved with a subtle synchronicity, unaware of the invisible threads guiding them, their lives brushing against mine as if rehearsing for some unseen choreography. Every glance I received felt loaded with meaning, every whisper carried portent, and every reflection hinted at my growing significance in a narrative written beyond human comprehension. The man from the cafe appeared again, standing at a street corner as if he had emerged from the walls themselves. "You accepted," he said. His voice calm, steady, the tremor of prophecy now tempered with purpose. "Good. That is the first step. The world will continue to test the boundaries of your perception. Are you prepared?" "I think so," I said, though the words felt inadequate. Every instinct screamed that nothing in ordinary life could prepare anyone for what was unfolding. "You will not be alone," he said. But the recognition, the acknowledgement from him, must be acted upon. It is not merely observation, it is creation. The millions who heard your name are now threads in a tapestry you are meant to weave. Follow the device. Let it show you the first point of convergence. It led me to a plaza I had never noticed before, though it was in the center of the city. The device pulsed faster as I approached, guiding me like a compass, until I stood in the middle of an intricate pattern etched into the stone ground. Strange symbols, geometric yet organic, mathematical yet alive, radiated outward from a central point, drawing energy into their lines, converging in a focal glow that seemed almost sentient. The figure appeared again above the plaza, larger now, hovering with impossible poise. His presence filled the space, and the device thrummed violently, almost painfully, as though warning me of the enormity of what I was about to witness. Then the city itself seemed to respond. Lights across rooftops blinked in patterns. Traffic lights pulsed like heartbeat signals, and shadows on buildings stretched unnaturally toward the plaza, aligning themselves with the geometric design beneath my feet. I realized with sudden clarity that the millions who had heard my name were participating unconsciously, their attention, however fleeting, feeding into the ritual I had unknowingly joined. "You see now," the man from the cafe said, appearing at my side, though I had not seen him approach. "He does not merely acknowledge. He activates. He turns recognition into resonance, and resonance into reality. You are part of the mechanism. The city, the people, the millions, they are conduits. What you do here matters far beyond what you can comprehend. I raised my hands instinctively, following the subtle guidance of the device. Lines of light extended from the glowing symbols beneath my feet, tracing arcs into the sky, connecting buildings, people, and street corners into a lattice of energy. The hum grew deafening, vibrating not just through the air but through my entire body, reshaping perception itself, and then I heard it, not with ears, but with understanding. A chorus of voices, thousands, millions, all harmonizing in a cadence I could feel in my bones. Each voice repeated my name, a mantra of awareness, expectation, and destiny. It was no longer Elon alone, it was the collective consciousness of those who had acknowledged me, now bound into the unfolding event. Your choice, the man said, voice now distant as the lattice of energy enveloped me, is not whether to accept the acknowledgement. It is what you will do with it. You can guide it, shape it, and transform it, or let it collapse into chaos. The weight of millions is on your hands, and the world will bend according to your decisions. I felt a surge of power, fear, and exhilaration, a combination so intense it threatened to overwhelm me. The sky shimmered above, a canvas of shifting lights and patterns, each movement echoing the lattice below. I understood then that I had stepped into a space between reality and myth, where acknowledgement became creation. Where recognition demanded action, and where the mythic Elon Musk, more force of destiny than man, watched not as a spectator, but as a catalyst, and as I stood there, trembling, the device pulsing furiously in my hand, I realized that the first act of creation was mine to command. The world awaited my signal.